Okay, we're gonna mixing it up a little bit today. Got a little bit of a late start. This is part 6 of a series of commentaries by the author of Why Women Are So Problematic, a memoir and whimsical polemic. That would be me, Andrew Paul Scatino. Getting a late start. It's already 20 to 10. Spent the night sleeping in my Saturn. This is hopefully the final phase of the poverty experiment, homelessness. Great story. By the time the book comes out, hopefully later this year, I'll have something on the website about it. But here, let me show you the setup. What happened is, it's later, so the table that I normally film from is already in the sun, so that's not going to work. But check this out. This is a tub that I keep my pipe gear in. You know, the pipe. So I'm using that as my stand. We're a little more in the shade here. Let's see if we can pan shot. Oh, I bet you every director is going to be jealous when they see that. Pan shot. Well, that looks a little bit like Hill Street Blues. I got to jerk it around a little bit more. Okay, so one of my personas, which if you ever call me on my cell phone, you'll hear, is Rasta Andy. I'll have Bob Marley playing in the background. It'll be like, yeah man. Oh, don't worry, you didn't dial the wrong number. You got Andrew Paul Scatino. This is just one of his friends, Rasta Andy. Go ahead, leave your message, and at the end, but first, let's listen to a little more Bob Marley. And then, I'll let Marley play for another 30 seconds. It drives people crazy. So that's one of my personas. Another one of my personas you'll be able to guess when you see this. Come with me if you want to live. Yeah. Trust me. Arnold Schwarzenegger, my man, the Terminator. I like the good Terminator more than the Terminator 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever we're up to now. Although the first Terminator was pretty damn funny. I'll be back. Oh, I gotta remember to take this damn thing off. Okay, so what the fuck do I want to talk about the book today? Oh, here. Okay. Let me talk about me. Something I know something about. In Chapter 6, How I Know What I Know, one of the experiences that I say is pretty pivotal is the near-death experience I had when I was like 14 years and a couple of weeks old, August 1996. Long, boring story, but make a long story short, in a hurry to cross a highway on my bicycle, make it across the southbound lanes. Now I'm going to cross the northbound lanes. I look in the distance, way in the fucking distance, I see a car. It's pretty far away, man. No way I can't make that. So I start across the highway, and you know how when you're driving, you pull out into traffic, and even though it's too late, you look again. I looked again, and she had closed half the distance between me and her. So, quick math, I knew I wasn't going to make it. So she was in the passing lane, so I looked down and I pedaled as hard as I could. And just as I cleared the passing lane, I looked up and I saw a blur of the bumper. And then some interesting metaphysical thing happened. I haven't decided if I'm going to tell people about that yet publicly. But at any rate, it came to be that when the car struck me perpendicular to the bicycle, it struck at exactly the right spot, perpendicular to the back tire. So it launched me like 150 feet in the air. When it hit me, my right leg swung out, broke the femur clean, kicked me in the jaw, broke my jaw. But very, very fortunate, because that launched me off the bicycle and flew me through the air. The state trooper told my dad normally what happens in an accident like that. The woman, of course, was changing her tampon and looking out the back window and putting on lipstick and accelerating and changing lanes when she hit me. She put on her brakes a couple miles down the road from where she hit me. That's not a slam on women, that's just what happened. Older woman, fucking bitch, tried to kill me, idiot. I'm not bitter though. So, anyway, she hit me in exactly the right spot. I broke my leg, I broke my jaw, it launched me, so I got out of her fucking way. She would have run me over, but after she heard the big thud, she turned and looked out the front of the car. What a concept, look out the front of the vehicle when you're at highway speeds, changing lanes. And the road curved, so she couldn't run me over because I'd already been thrown and I landed in a entrance to a gas station. But the point of the story is this. I was a pretty intense kid, pissed off a lot of the time. If you almost die, like if you're eating a hot fudge sundae and then like 4 minutes later you almost die, the good thing about that near-death experience is it kind of jump-starts, your journey. It gets you a little closer to enlightenment, a little faster. Well, maybe a lot faster and a lot closer. It did for me anyway. I was in a hospital in traction from August 8th when I got hit until I think before Thanksgiving, and then no. I was in traction in the hospital just before Halloween, August, September, October. Then I came home just before Halloween, I think. And then I was in traction until just before Christmas. So whatever that is, however many fucking months that is. Good thing is I had a tutor. The county provided a tutor, and in those 2 months I did like a whole year of schoolwork because, of course, even in 1966 they were feeding the kiddies. I mean, now it's glacial, but even then it was starting to get pretty. They were dumbing it down already a little bit. Not as much as it is now. Come on, I substitute taught for 3 years. I know how bad it is now. So anyhow, the deal is, if you almost get killed when you're 14, you reflect on that while you're laying in a hospital bed in traction on your back, and while you're laying at home in a full body cast on your back, and to take a shit, your mom has to roll you on your side, put a bedpan under you, roll you on top of the bedpan, try to shit uphill, man. That's a treat. But your soldiers know something about that in combat. Anyway, so you're on your back, you're shitting uphill because your butt's higher than your body. So you shit uphill, hopefully you don't fill the pot up and smear the shit all over yourself. Then your mom rolls you off the pot, wipes your ass. It's a humbling experience. Your dick and balls are hanging right there. I mean, what are you going to do? It's your mom, but fuck. So, humbling experience. Earlier when I was a little kid, maybe 6 or 7, I got a head start with my mom's very useful prayer. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. She had taught me that. She would pray that with me every night from rote. So one night, as I'm falling to sleep, doing my little meditation to calm my consciousness so I can sleep, that phrase, if I should die before I wake, kind of sticks in my mind, and I bolted up in bed, like, what the fuck is that? So I got that, that pit in your stomach feeling you get when you contemplate your mortality. Boy, I didn't like that feeling, and it gives you that horrible taste in your mouth of terror. So I thought, man, I got to work this. This is a big problem. So I let myself die about maybe a half a dozen times. I just kept doing it. Each time it felt a little bit less frightening, and it felt a little bit more reasonable. And I did it for hours until I could do it and have it and not have that taste in my mouth and that wrenching feeling in my stomach like you're going to throw up. Well, my bedroom, one window faced the east, the other window faced the south. It was a corner room because I'm the firstborn son, so you get the big room. Not as big as the parents, but bigger than the other kiddies. Well, in that time, the moon had gone from rising in the east to now it's in the south. I see I'm sitting there, I see my reflection, I'm sitting on the bed, I see my reflection, I see my shadow on the floor. So I'm like, oh, the moon. So it's about 4 o'clock in the morning, I sneak outside. I had done that many times as a child. I sneak outside. Wheaton, Maryland was the frontier then. It was like, now it's like the Hispanic enclave, probably 100,000, 200,000 Hispanics live in Wheaton now. But then we were the frontier. They were just building houses. So the sky was still quite dark at night. So I went out, I laid in the cool grass. This is in the spring. Looked at watched the moon. You could even see the Milky Way in those days. I looked at the Milky Way. I just laid there. I looked up and I thought, man, whatever this is, I got to be part of this. I mean, it can't be that I'm separate from this. So basically, I was becoming a Zen Buddhist or a Taoist or any of a handful of wonderful Eastern religions and/or pagan religions that worship reality as opposed to a God with a dick and balls. Don't get me started. So, let me see if this fucking pipe's got anything left. Yeah, Mama. You got it. The clock is running. We have ignition. Okay. So I had a virtual near-death experience when I was 6 or 7, and then a real near-death experience when I was 14. But you're not afraid of death. How are you going to be afraid of some bullshit thing like a boss threatening to fire you? When they would threaten to fire me, I would just like fucking laugh at them. Really, you're going to fire me? Oh my God. Please don't fire me. I would just laugh in their fucking faces, idiots. Shove your fucking job up your fucking ass. I'll go to work for your competitor and put you out of business, dumbass. So, I was a difficult employee. I wasn't a team player. There's no fuck you in team. So, I guess I beat that dead horse enough, right? Near death makes you special, makes you wonderful, makes you smart, makes you concentrate on important shit. So I've been doing that a long time. Well, I'm going to be 62 this July 19th, so fuck, I don't know, however long that is. 14, carry the 1, I guess it would be 50 years this August 8th, so 49 years and months. That's a long time to be self-aware. So if that pisses you off, sorry, but it could be helpful. I mean, it could help you. So, because it's an awesome book. Check it out. I was going to say something else about the fucking book, but I can't remember what it was. I guess that'll be in part 7. Okay, well, I'm going to cut this off now. You good? Everybody good? Okay. Pipe's empty, so fuck. I mean, that's it. We're done.